And now for some breaking news. The Supreme Court of Nigeria just a while ago adjourned till March the 3rd judgment in the suit seeking to extend the deadline for old Naira notes to remain legal tender. Arise judicial editor Toby Soni joins us now from the Supreme Court. Good day, Toby. This is the moment that many of us have been waiting for. Can you let us know how it all played out at the Supreme Court today?
Thank you. Hearing that started from 9 o'clock, the 7th panel of justices has now adjourned to March 3rd for judgment in the case filed by seeking to extend the validity, the time within which we can still use the old Naira note, which has been a very tense case between the judiciary and the executive as led by the president. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Toby. So what are
Can you hear me, please?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you.
Great.
Go ahead.
Since you're, based on what you told us played out today, what are the legal options available ahead of the 3rd, I believe it was? You said, I'm sorry, can you confirm the dates to us again?
Can you come back again? I can barely hear you now.
Okay. Toby, it's been adjourned to the 3rd of March. I'm just confirming with you what the legal options are ahead of that time, if there are any legal options.
Well, that would depend on who you ask. Because for now, for instance, the Supreme Court did not make any pronouncement on its earlier order. So people are asking the question, does the interim order still subsist? But nobody seemed to have a clear answer to that. And there was an attempt by the plaintiff to get the court to commit the Attorney General of the Federation for contempt for not obeying the earlier order. But the Supreme Court maturely said that when they get there, they will raise the issue. But they didn't make any pronouncement. What they just did was to ask all lawyers to put in all their papers so that they can study everything and come out with a conclusive decision, which they will do on March 3rd.
All right, thank you so much, Toby. Now, what is the likely scenario that will play out based on what you've seen today? Do you think the president's order that the old 200 Naira note is the only old note of the denominations that had previously been declared extinct, will that continue to be a tender? Do you see other governors, as we saw earlier, governors continuing to instruct their people to use old notes? Right now, what is legal in terms of Naira notes that can be used in Nigeria, according to what happened in the Supreme Court today?
His position, as far as the Supreme Court is concerned, both the old and the new Naira notes are legal tender. But as far as the presidency is concerned, the 500 and 1,000 Nairas are no longer legal tenders. But from the public point of view, nobody is likely to accept the 500 Naira, the old 500 Naira. Nobody is likely to accept the old 1,000 Naira. So we are basically where we are at the beginning. And election is Saturday. The judgment will come after the election. So basically, I think we remain where we are. People are stuck in their position. People like Rufai believe the Supreme Court judgment succeeds, but the presidency believe that its own order is the substituting order, but the reality is that nobody is likely to accept the 1,000 Naira note from you, old one. Nobody is likely to accept the old 500 Naira note. Even the 200 Naira note that the president asks us to, the public to be accepting. Some people are still even rejecting it. So the reality is quite different from what is happening in court. The reality is that the 500 Naira and the 1,000 Naira old notes are probably basically gone. I don't know, depending on the judgment the Supreme Court give on March 3rd, we'll know whether they will still bring those things back to life. If the Supreme Court insists on its earlier order, it will mean that by the pronouncement of the judiciary, both all the old notes and the new notes remain legal tender. But usually, the showdown continues between the presidency and the Supreme Court.
Well, thank you so much, Arise Judicial Editor Toby Shoni. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem as though there's much clarity on what's next besides a date. Thank you so much for bringing us that update. Thank you.